Welcome to Cruise News and Review, where we cover some of the biggest news that took place this past week. Today we'll be talking about a passenger being deported, updates from many cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Carnival, and this week's show will be a little short due to a mid-show checkup last week. So we'll be turning to our weekly cruise news. And the first story, it's about the SSDD being proved correct again. What that is, I'll let you Google it. But basically, a 77-year-old passenger was deported from Italy back to his home country in the United States for bringing a loaded firearm on the cruise. Well, he was not allowed to board the ship. He was deported, but he claimed he had a permit to carry in the United States. And Italy responded with, "You don't recognize that permit. You're in a different country." Again, you see a pattern starting to emerge. There are some details that I have not seen reported anywhere, like where was the firearm obtained from? Was it obtained in the United States? Flew over to Italy? Did you purchase it in Europe? If you flew from the United States, it probably went through TSA. Before you say that's not possible, there have been several confirmed cases of this happening over and over again. One being many months ago, I reported back then, where a passenger flew to a cruise port and had some ammo that went through TSA. And when he arrived in the Grand Turks, he was jailed. And this wasn't an isolated incident. This happened several times over the past year. Again, SSDD, different location. But just as a general PSA, people, double check your bags. If you do have something like that, have a travel bag. Have a fun bag, so to speak. Just don't use the same bag for those two items. It's that simple. Okay, as usual, to a series of exciting news now. Celebrity has received its newest ship, the Celebrity XL. This is scheduled to be home ported in Fort Lauderdale and will have its inaugural sailing on November 9th. Shortly after, Celebrity announced the name of its newest ship, the Excite, which will be joining the fleet in 2028. I have not tried the Celebrity cruise lines yet, but let me know if I should try it, and if I do, is there a ship that I should prioritize? Because I'm always down to try another cruise line. The next cruise line we have updates from is Royal Caribbean. That will take place in 2026. One of those is many of their ships being royally amplified, specifically 3. The Harmony of the Seas, which I had a ship tour video on, which means I want to go on that ship again, Liberty of the Seas, and Ovation of the Seas. In addition to that, they have a new Icon class ship coming to set sail on July 11th, the Legend, so be sure to stay tuned because I'll be having more updates coming on that ship. Then, of course, Royal Caribbean also has a new Royal Beach Club opening up in late of 2026, which is basically a much-needed refresh for Royal Caribbean, or any cruise line, should I say, in Cozumel. Because Cozumel is a port that's very popular when you're sailing out of Galveston, and pretty much every cruise line goes there. So Royal Caribbean is going to have something up their sleeves. So now I'm going to have to sell Royal Caribbean so I can go there. The last bit of Royal Caribbean specific news is Serenade at the Seas home porting in San Diego. Now, Royal Caribbean is not the only cruise line that's going to have a new home port. Those of you in Mobile, Alabama, you're going to be excited because now Carnival will be sailing out of Mobile, Alabama nonstop year-round, starting in May of 2027 with refurbished Carnival Valor. So great news for many people of different cruise lines. And just like Royal Caribbean is amplifying some of their ships, Royal Caribbean is also having maintenance on their ships to give them a refresh and keep them in tip-top shape. The list is right here. All right, that's our cruise news and review for this week. Stay tuned, and I'll see y'all again soon.